winning every quote, you'll fill up, yes, in a couple of months, but then you've got the trash that you've got to work through and weed out.
I might read it out because people won't believe that this is real.
Then I even had the Corolla. It was going in the back of the Corolla, just as many whippersnippers as I could fit. I'll rock up on a Monday, and there's 3 tractor tyres stacked on each other. It's either just adults going, "Oh, this would be a great idea," and chucking it on there.
Or the kids are on steroids. That's
Right,
the other
exactly.
How many people went into that one facility for the long weekend?
And it was about 9 days, and we had 6,000 customers come through. This main lawn that just gets pummeled is actually only about 500 square metres.
All right, this is not a drill. We are giving away $1,000 a week of Stihl tools that you can purchase from any Stihl dealer, your choice. $1,000 voucher of your choice. We're giving one a week away for 5 weeks, starting September 15th. So if you want to get yourself into running, all you have to do is buy the Aussie Green Business Mastery course. If you've been on the fence about buying it, you've been thinking about getting it, now is the time to do it. If you buy before September 15th, you are in the running for all 5. If you've already bought the course, you're already in the running. This is just for anyone who's bought the course. So, again, get yourself onto it. There's a link in the description. I'll see you in the podcast.
All right. Welcome to... I can't even do it.
Welcome to today's episode of the Australian Lawn and Garden Podcast. That microphone's got to be closer again.
Okay, let's bring it closer.
Welcome to the most unprofessional... Do you know what? The camera is hiding a lot.
This place is filthy. You can't tell right now, but
We're in the warehouse.
We're tripping over stuff. This actually isn't a table.
This is literally a box off my truck, sitting on top of a trestle, and there is rubbish everywhere because I'm reorganising my warehouse.
Well, you had no idea I was coming. It's only been planned for a week and a half.
Yep.
So,
and you had to drive an hour here.
Thanks for flying me out, by the way, and paying for the flights.
Yeah. Well, I'll introduce who you are. You're Leon.
Hi.
You are tight-ass Leon, which he used a better word called frugal, but that's too nice.
Tight-ass Leon.
And now you've got an interesting story of yourself. You were a draftsman.
Yes.
Then you started as a side hustle doing lawns, well, other things.
Yes.
And I'll give you a little synopsis. And now you're full-time in the game, but you're doing some amazing work up north of Perth at a couple of very, very, very popular pubs, restaurants, wedding venues.
Yep.
You told me that the long weekend, how many people went into that one facility for the long weekend?
So we've got this pub. It's like a pub restaurant with a big family-friendly play area. Lots of grass. And there's a main lawn there. It was the holidays just passed, not the winter ones before it, the autumn holidays. And so they were open from end of Easter till the end of the holidays. But it's fun. It's the most challenging lawn I've worked on, just that specific one. There's thousands of square metres of other kaiku that's doing just fine. But that 500 square metres, my goodness.
And it's a pub, right? Or a restaurant?
So, yeah, it's a pub/restaurant. So they have their bar. They don't do any brewery, so it's not brewing there. So it's not a brewery, but yeah, they've got the pub. The locals will come for that. But then, yeah, everyone brings their families for a feed, for lunch and all that. And they get a huge turnover during school holidays, as you can imagine. It would be the go-to place.
Yeah.
Car park's always packed. And, yeah, just thousands of people coming through each week.
Very, very popular spot. And it's looking... right now it's struggling, but when in summer, in spring, some of the videos you show, and it's like, that's a really clean. So I bring that up because a lot of people would want, they're listening to this right now, and they were in a situation you were in, I'd say 4 years ago.
Yep.
Is that when you started?
Mowing.
Or just like the idea of, I want to get out of my job?
So the idea of getting out of my job was one of those flailing thoughts for a good 5 years, but it didn't really take manifest until I started transferring skills. For anyone out of the loop, I was a draftsman for 12 years, and then just through curiosity and liking to tinker, I bought some used chainsaws that weren't running, went on YouTube, and learned how to fix them. And so then it turned into sold them for a profit as well, and just saw a little interesting thing that could come from that. And so I just started to educate myself on small engine repairs, all that OPE sort of stuff. And that kind of got out of control at one point where I was buying ex-council gear. So, you know, Pickles auctions, that sort of stuff. And I bought a ute for it. Well, before then I even had the Corolla. It was going in the back of the Corolla, just as many whippersnippers as I could fit. But then it turned into a ute, and I was just bringing home ute loads of gear, fixing them, repairing them, selling them. About 250 units or so that I sold that I was like cataloguing at the time over a couple of years. And I went, all right, this is fun. I can probably turn this into a bit of a business.
Yeah.
And so I decided to take off with my long service leave every Friday for a year. And then it turned into, well, I don't have enough to fix to do it all the time. I'll mow my neighbour's lawn, a couple of friends down the road.
Fill the time was so productive. Yeah.
Using the equipment that I had from it. And then it turned into, I like using the tools more than fixing them. And it kind of transferred away. And so the business started in my head as Leon's Mowing and Machinery. But the machinery maintenance and repair is kind of dissolved now. And yeah, just all in on lawns. So,
and the other thing about that, where did you start doing the higher detail work? Because like a lot of the, we should show some videos of some clips as we're doing this. I'll steal some from you. Get the editors chuck it in.
Yep.
Because it is, it's like it's not like your overgrown jungle, mow, blow, go sort of stuff.
No, well, I started with that, and it was just going off what's the local gym's charging. And so he was, you know, pitching, like, this lawn's $40, and it was just a front lawn and a side bit. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's my neighbour's lawn. I'll do that for you for that price, and I can do this extra bit, which is, you know, around the verge next to my lawn to make mine look better anyway. And so I was aiming for 80 an hour, and, you know, and that was fine for that point. But then, honestly, it was learning about LMCA and starting to familiarise myself with other contractors. That's when the push, the passion, and the want to just do that better level really started to go in. And so then it turned into, I'll experiment with my lawn first. How does this look? Did it work? Can I implement it, and can I charge more? and yeah,
and the last bit is the most important.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, it's got to work. That's the second most important. But if you can charge more,
absolutely,
that's the incentive.
And so it kind of turned into that. So Humongous from LMCA, everyone will know him.
Yep.
Got me onto LMCA when I was just buying a hedge trimmer off him, and yeah, kind of got off to the races. Learnt about all the local contractors and what everyone else is doing, and yeah, now I'm really drinking the Kool-Aid and charging as much as possible to get the best possible result, which is probably the best way to be if you want to not be just going through foot-high grass and weeds all day and trying to smash all those down and move on.
So how did you get this gig with the... Because is it that you got multiple venues that are owned by the same group? How did that relationship start?
So I sold some equipment to a guy who previously did it, and we would just chat whenever he came to pick up or do anything.
All right.
And so he actually approached me and just said, look, I believe that you've got a similar eye to detail as I do. I'm about to throw in the towel at this place. Would you be interested in if I put your name forward as a recommendation?
Yeah.
I'd like it if I could, and you're the only one that I think that would be able to take it on right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't know, that's going full time. And to be honest, it just felt too big for me.
Yeah.
Because it's that pub venue. It's a wedding venue as well on the side, up the road. And then it's 3 of the owners' big acreage properties as well. And so I was just going, well, I'm doing small residential lawns. How does this work?
Yeah.
And so it was dip my toe in the water. I'll find out more and see if we can make it work. And to be honest, the employers have been very accommodating with any concessions that were needed, and just making sure that it could flow into a good work state where I had a full week's work. So I was doing two days of my own thing, 3 days of maintaining all these properties to the highest standard. And been off to the races. That's been 13 months now, give or take.
Yeah, true.
Because I took it on start of financial year last year.
Yeah. And so what was 3 years-ish from first job to full-time?
Yeah, that's about it. About that 3 years. So yeah, I took off the Fridays. off long service leave, and then when that finished, I said, I've got enough work. I'm not coming back Fridays anymore. And then it was about 6 months after that I felt like I'd maximised that Friday. So I said, I'm not coming in Thursdays anymore either. And I kind of knew I was invaluable to them, so I could leverage that. And like, well, you have me 3 days or not at all. And they said, well, okay, if that's all we can get. And then, yeah. So
I also feel like for a venue like that, this is one of the things that you come across a lot of people who are really trying to minimise their expenses in the commercial scene.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we teach in I've said this on the podcast as well, but like the commercial stuff that you really want is where there's a marketing value. Because if people say with this venue, if the lawns are rubbish, they would genuinely get less people.
Yes.
And what's their profit margin on each person? Exactly. So if they're making, let's throw it $10 per person, right, and you bring in 500 more people,
exactly.
That's $5,000.
Exactly.
And that's how they think. And a lot of people don't realise that. And so what they do is they go into these moments, these conversations, thinking, what did the last guy charge? Instead of thinking, how much value am I adding or subtracting?
Yep.
And we did this actually with the school that you're aware of that we won recently. We sat down with them and we were like, because I had no idea how much this stuff costs. Here's some quotes from suppliers. This is how much soil you need to top dress. Here's what it costs. Here's how much fertilizer you need. Here's what it costs. Like educate. Here's the results that we've gotten at previous places. Then we literally said, how many more kids do you think you'd get in? And they literally did not have the money in their maintenance budget, and they have actually taken money out of their marketing budget to pay for our contract.
That makes sense, though. I mean, you think about it, the marketing from a standpoint of driving past is a decent thing.
Yep.
You see that standard, you start going, well, this is a school that I'd like to do. It's marketing, self-evident marketing, and something that they can then use as easier marketing on social media instead of having to pay. They can show, look at this lovely yard, look at these great school kids who are actually enjoying going outside instead of going into a sandy region and told to play or do laps on that and call it an oval. You can actually show, well, here is a proper oval.
It's it's the right shape.
I did a drive past that area when you told me about it, and I've gone, you've got a lot of work there.
You understand why they hired us, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's like there's a few schools in that area that they're competing with, so you can understand the motivation.
Absolutely.
Have I showed you the photo? I'll show you later. The 1 month turnaround photos.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I haven't gone past recently, so I'd be interested to see that.
Well, luckily we had like the hot, long heat into May.
Yes, you had it was a good growing May for that.
Because we would not have had these results last year. And I told them, I was like, we got to hurry up with this, or I was almost like, there comes a certain point where you should just keep your other guys, save your money, and just get us in the spring.
Get us in the spring, yep.
And then, invest more of it in one hit. But no, we did a hit of a pretty simple, Bailey's 3-1, which you know.
Yep.
We were just like, just get it out. Like, get me some nutrient in the soil, and it was good.
No, it was a nice warm May. I tried to do a dethatch and vertimo on some kikuyu at the wedding venue, like late, and I don't get much choice. There's such a small window between when the weddings stop and then the cold weather kicks in.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm going to be cutting it so fine. And I'll be honest, I cut it too fine this time because it's such a shaded area, but I didn't have any choice. It was now or in 2 years' time when you can try and find a gap in it. And so it's bouncing back. It's kikuyu, so there's no big dramas there. Yeah. But yeah, it's something that people don't think about when you've got weddings on every single week after week. You can't go, well, I'm going to renovate and you're not going to have a lawn for this wedding, sorry.
But this is real talk about, so for people who want to get into the commercial space and you want a good client, I'll just throw you out some red flags. What you don't want is you don't want a committee for the most part. Now, there's always exceptions, right? Yep. So these are general principles. You don't want a committee because it's so hard to keep everyone happy.
Yep.
You want where there's one, maybe two decision makers, right? And usually that's the school where they've got sort of the facility person or the principal, and for like a venue like this, it's like the person who owns it, the person who runs it. That's it. There's no committees.
Yep.
Aged care facilities are terrible. A lot of those other things are really challenging. and then you want something that's got a marketing value, return on investment. And if you have those two things together, you're dealing with one person or two people. They have a marketing return on investment, and then you just have to deliver. Great. But almost all of those places, the downside is they have a return on investment because there's always people there.
Yeah. Yep.
And schools, it's like it's so hard to work at schools because the best time to cut a school lawn is anywhere between 3:30 in the afternoon and probably 7:30 in the morning. And legally speaking, that's
You've got about a 3-hour window there to actually do anything with daylight and noise restrictions.
And this school with the mowers that we've got, it's probably a 12-hour job for one person. So two people would be 6 hours. Yeah. So if you're looking at that as you have to work around the kids, and school holidays, you got to get everything done. But you know what? So does everybody else. Yeah. So there's always other contractors, and so you got to be prepared for that. And I think one of the things that happens is a lot of people they think commercial is better. And the challenges that come with it aren't necessarily better than just having a bunch of good resi clients.
Yeah. Well, I think there's so many categories of commercial as well. You've got your ones where you'll just be in an industrial area and you go do their front lawns. You can do it pretty much any time, as long as it's not peak business hours if they're in an office or something. But that's heavily different to a space where they need that area to be at top notch because of foot traffic or marketing or things like that. Like there's tiers of it, not even tiers. There's just different types of it. Whereas I think residential, to a degree, you can aim for certain residential clients, but you kind of know what you're signing up for there at least.
Yeah. No, I'm not that excited about commercial stuff. Even with this school, just pulling back the curtain a little bit for people who've never experienced this. When you quote a really big site, right? Like you were talking about this, can I do this? I need to get a ride on, right? But even us, and we have, I have all the stuff in the Moquo app that's coming out.
Yep.
I have access to it, all of it. And there's still, I am incredibly confident that my quote for how long the lawn's going to take to mow is essentially spot on. But I don't know when the kids are coming out.
No.
And I don't know if the teacher's going to have, literally the other morning, we rock up to cut, what was it, Friday morning? Is that yesterday? Yeah, it's yesterday. Gee, I've had a long week. Yesterday, we rock up to cut this lawn, and there's apparently 20 tyres on the lawn. What? Because it was some sort of phys ed drill or whatever. They've done some sort of army routine or whatever, marching through them.
And they just leave them there.
And one of the guys has gone and picked them up, and of course it's been raining, and they're filled with water. And he's got water all in his shoes at 7:30 in the morning, and it was so cold. Anyway, the next job, I met him at the next job, and he was like, "Yeah, that wasn't great."
We've got these tyres at the pub, and they're not like your truck tyres; they're the big tractor ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got 3 or 4 of them in there. And, I mean, a pub being a pub and kids being kids, you've got also adults being kids, courtesy of alcohol. And so these tyres, I'll rock up on a Monday after they've had lovely weather and everyone's been in there. And there's 3 tractor tyres stacked on each other. And then wood planks turning it into this jungle gym with tyres below it. And me and the yardie will be looking at it going, how has this happened? It's either... It's got to be just adults going, this would be a great idea, and chucking it on there.
Or the kids are on steroids. That's
right,
the other
exactly. It boggles the mind, the stuff that they come up with, and also sometimes the things that they destroy, like climbing frames or rope swings that are designed, like industrial strength, and you'll come and they've somehow destroyed it. And you're like, okay, how do we get creative in fixing this one today?
Yeah. Well, the other thing about commercial stuff is, say with schools, right? We've already had this school that we just started at. Yep. They were quite happy with some of the results we had. They were like, one of the other schools in our group, there's 6 or 7 of them, is like, they would be interested, would you like to quote? And I was actually like, well, see, the problem is we got 2 private schools now, right? All right, well, and we have all these other clients. If I get 3, if I get 4, if you start becoming the school guy,
you need way more employees for something like that, wouldn't you?
You need way more employees for 2 weeks, 3 times a year. if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it's like what we do at these schools is everything gets done at school holidays, and it becomes like nightmarish. And
they're all on the same holidays. How do you?
So, like for you, if you became you probably don't want more of these venues.
No.
Yeah, because it's actually really hard because they all kind of want the same.
Yep.
Because they're all running the same way, and it's just not what people think from the get go. People think, oh, you get nice venues, you just want to do them all the time. That's all you want to do. It's like, it's nice to have different problems at different places, not the same ones.
I've never thought of it like that. That works really well because then you've got, if you have one wedding venue, then you have that winter time. You can be busy getting that one up to snuff, and then one school, then you can only work on the school holidays. That's a good idea.
And I'm in the middle of I probably should get a second collection mower. And then you go, well, then that means I need a big trailer.
Full setup.
And then you go, well, should I get that stand-on aerator I've always wanted? And, like, oh, my goodness. You're in this too. You're like, oh, I want this.
It's a slippery slope. I'm forever. This is part of Tight Ass Leon. A little insight into my brain. Delayed gratification. For eternity now, I've wanted a battery cylinder.
Have you ever been gratified? You just keep delaying it.
It's a very frustrating life. Forever wanted a battery cylinder mower, the battery stand on the Greenworks one. And I'm always checking in like, oh, they've got a special on at the moment or like that. And you kind of think, can I make this work? And like, look, in 20% of stuff, you might be able to make it work. But you'd be adjusting the business for it, or you'd be taking a massive step for it.
Yeah.
And the sky's always the limit on that. And so
I'd love a battery stand on. Here's a conversation, right? I think a lot of people, I think the stand on market's like cooled a lot. Because a lot of guys at the beginning got really excited because the amount of Americans that are using it.
Get your Skag 32-inch right now.
Or whatever it is, And I've got, literally the Hustler is right behind the camera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I had that. Like, I wouldn't be getting rid of it. I've thought about getting rid of it a few times because we've been, like, in between. I'm glad I didn't in the end. But having said that, it's kind of... It's a machine that has a very specific use, and when it's in that use, it's amazing. Yeah. But a lot of us are just not doing it that often. And, a 30-inch for residential is not as good. But it's, I don't know, 10% of the price sometimes.
Yeah, I've liked that idea that you pitched to me one time when I was always talking about this and annoying you. You just say, well, try with a 30 first and see if it actually does improve and transform your business.
You still haven't got one yet, have you?
Tight ass Leon.
You're delaying your gratification.
Mate, I'll delay that thing. We're shopping at the moment. The Greenworks one sounds cool. There's Ego ones being, in the ether. You'll see photos every now and then, and just to tempt you, wait that another season. It'll pop out. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, not to like crap on any brand, right? But it's really common for every brand. Car brands, whatever, they release something for the first time and like there's a little glitch.
There's glaring problems sometimes.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to say the quiet part of that. Everyone's going, why aren't you giving a free trial for Moquo? There's several reasons. One of them actually takes resources, and essentially we're all working this after our real jobs, right? Because we're not making any money from people are buying, but it's not like a meaningful amount of money yet. It's going to take time to build. Just like when everyone starts a mowing business, right? So we're going to put our resources into the things that are valuable by getting more services out. But the second thing is we don't really want that many people downloading it because we want to 100% know that it's bug-free and it's actually working properly. And that's the thing that you can't do with tools. So you build a tool, you release it, it's your first shot in the market, and maybe it's like this, there's 7 out of 10 things are awesome, 2 of them are average, and 1 of them just bugs the heck out of people.
Yeah, I'm finding that with so many things. And that's that. I'm shopping at the moment. My wife's starting to join me on the tools. We're like, let's shop for a new mower. What ones do you like? And
Pink and
She's not that bad.
My wife would be.
Seriously?
Oh, she'd be like, do I get to sit down or like, does it drive itself?
Yeah.
If not, like, which one looks the coolest?
I don't mind aesthetics. I've let the kids put like Pokemon stickers on my ego mower. But
As long as it's Pikachu.
yeah, Pikachu. 'Cause it's electric.
Exactly, yeah.
Thank you. But no, there's always that one or two niggling things, and especially with the newer electric stuff coming, they're trying to hit peak targets, and I feel like they shoot for this. I need max power or max speed or max catchment or such, and they'll focus on that, and then they'll miss the ergonomic things that are just bread and butter that petrol mowing brands have figured out. Your handles have to be good. When you pull something back, you don't want resistance from these spindle wheels or the way the gearbox works. Just little things where I go, this sucks to use because yes, it's powerful now, but I don't enjoy operating it, getting out, or little aesthetics. And
that's exactly it. And I think that's one of the things with Toyota. I don't know if I'm not exactly a car guy, but my understanding is that Toyota is essentially using the same engine that there has been, or multiple, obviously, you use different ones.
Yep.
But it designs an engine when it's good. They don't redesign the whole thing. They keep just tinkering and slowly improving it. So my understanding is that when I had my 2005 Hilux, it actually had the same engine as my 2022 Hilux.
Oh, wow.
But the 2022, like as in as concept.
Yeah.
But it was updated in certain ways. Yep. And that actually gave me confidence because I was like, well, my 2005 has gotten to 300 and something thousand Ks.
Beautiful.
No issues, right? And then the flip side with the car market is all this wet belt stuff that's going on with the Ford Rangers and a few other vehicles because they've changed the design and everyone's like, why'd you do that? Well, they thought it would be better and it's not, and some of these older cars are better. And I guess like that's probably why like I put up a post a couple of months ago now, like, is the Honda HRU 216 actually the best mower? Or is it just that everyone buys it?
Yeah.
Because they had a good experience and it's kind of too risky to go to something else and maybe it's not, It's also like, why is mum's cooking the best?
Yeah.
Because you ate it a lot growing up.
You're used to it. You won't have any trouble getting used to it.
You got used to your Honda, and then you go use a contractor, a mass-built contractor, and you're like, this is not that nice.
Yeah.
Someone did the opposite. They started using a contract, they went to a Honda, and what's this rubbish?
On the 216 topic, because I love this one. It's so hilariously controversial. But so I got, I'm a Massport Pro Power guy. That might make some people frown and turn off immediately. But I had it for about a month, and then courtesy of my purchasing auction stuff, a 216 that looked practically untouched came up, and I got it for a bargain. I was like, beautiful. Now I get to pit the two against each other and pick which one I like more. And instantly I've gone, no, I don't like the 216. This isn't suited for me. And I hadn't had enough time on the Pro Power to feel like I was comfortable with that, because I definitely wasn't. I'd run over about 3 sprinklers getting used to self-propelled and getting used to the weight of it and everything. And so it was the same with the 216. But yeah, for me, it was just, no. The 216 is, and I think I said it in your post, its finish and its method of use is easy to replicate between users. So if you have employees or if you just want to switch off or whatever, very straightforward and it will work. But for me, the Pro Power had more power, had more speed. It was lighter as well.
Yep.
But I mean, it had its negatives as well.
Well, this is one thing that I like about the battery stuff. You talk about speed, is some of them, I believe, the Ego and the Greenworks have a ramp up issue.
Oh, does Greenworks have it too?
I don't know if they've edited that.
Okay.
And I don't know how. Look, I've only ever used them in either the filming condition or at the shows.
Yeah, you're not the guys.
Yeah.
For 10
so people
days.
do actually message me like, "Oh, which one?" It's like, well, yeah, I filmed with almost all the brands.
Yep.
But I haven't used them day in day out.
It'd be a blur too by the end of it.
Yeah, especially with the amount of cocaine we go. No, there's no cocaine. Just lots of Pepsi Max and whatever's in the drive-thru.
Pepsi.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that the major sponsor is my own business now.
My goodness.
You can't get dropped by your own major sponsor if you are the guy who runs the brand.
This is so
but no, like it's... Yeah, you don't get a proper test of them. I do feel like there's certain things that stand out
yes.
to me where I'm like, oh, no, that's That's actually really good. Like one of them was I've had a few of these handheld chainsaws, and the Bush Ranger one was like it's 48 volt, I think.
Really?
But it was torquey. Like you could feel it. Like
That's cool.
and you see the jokes with people.
Yeah. I never would have expected that for Bush Ranger.
Yeah,
Good for them.
and I think it was because I wasn't expecting much.
Yeah.
And then and the other thing is I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of handheld chainsaws.
Yeah, you said it's too
I'm
silent.
a hand of reciprocating saws because the chainsaws to me, it would be faster to cut with.
It's also dangerous as.
And your blade gets blunt and it's less versatile, and like I've got a reciprocating saw on the floor of that. Like I would take the negatives of the reciprocating saw. So I wasn't like excited to try it. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll buy it. So I was like, oh. So that was one thing. The smoothness of the Greenworks, how it accelerates with the hub motors.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I haven't used them cutting anything though. But you get lots of little things like that.
I think it's cool where the generations are coming through because as your Hilux is now adopting the engine and adapting the outside or just tweaking it, I feel like there's definitely a stark difference between the Gen 1 machinery and the Gen 2. You've got your Ego Gen 1s, the commercial, it was backpack only.
Yep.
Now the Gen 2s, you can have battery on board or backpack if you get creative.
Yeah.
And then the stronger motor, but they've figured out, okay, what's working, keep, what's not. And I can see it in mowers as well, like certain brands, Gen 1s, like great things on there, but I'm just like, no, there's problems. I'm gonna wait for the Gen 2s when that's been fixed and that's been adapted. But the speed at which these generations is coming out is making me pretty happy that, yes, I'm here, I'm starting my career like only 3 years ago and I've got some battery gear, but I know in 5 years' time or 6 years' time, like it's just going to be mint.
I've got some cool stuff. So with Makers Month. So every year I'm like, oh, should I do Makers Month? Because the first year was like this afterthought. And the second year I was like, I don't want to talk about it. I want to show the tools.
Yeah.
But like, do we have the resources to do it? This year, I sent it to the brands and I was like, we're either doing absolutely all out awesome videos or like I don't really want to do it.
Okay.
And so like way more than I thought came back and have really, really committed.
Oh, sweet.
And like almost all the biggest brands are in. And it's like full day filming, actually using the tools, comparing the tools, everything, which is awesome. So I'm going to forget someone. Makita's on, wearing a Makita jumper. Makita's in, Stihl, Husqvarna, Toro, Greenworks, Ego, Walker. That'll be an interesting one, actually.
Walker's different. That's pretty cool to see.
So what we're going to do with Walker, I'll let the cat out of the bag here. Well, this is 90% locked in. I'll be a little bit vague. You'll see this stuff in the video. But what we're going to do is we're going to take different mowers through real world and somewhat artificial tests and compare side by side. And the idea is to do the math as if you had an employee on it. Because the thing is that, like, you look at a certain mower and you think that mower's, let's say, with Walker, let's say the MD in the background there they're like 60-something now.
Yeah.
Right? So $60,000, and that is a lot of money, right? But do you know what is more money? The $60,000 a year you're paying the employee plus super plus workers. Maybe it's $80,000, maybe it's $90,000, right? And people don't think about that, and so they go and buy a $25,000 mower, thinking the performance is going to be similar, and that's the test I want to see. Okay, really? Is it really the same? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. And so we're going different price points. The Stihl video is going to be awesome because they sent me this thing. Trust me, these brands are going this all out. It's awesome. Stihl have hired a park here in Perth for their dealers, and the day after they extended their hire, and then they're going to film with us. everything they're going to show their dealers. They got 14 new tools coming out.
Hey.
They sent me a thing with like a non-disclosure, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but here's all these tools that are coming out, and we've got to film this and film that, and I think 7 of them are either Stihl's most powerful ever or the most powerful in the world.
Oh, everyone's making that claim at the moment. It's almost on a release schedule of who's got the most powerful X this month before the next brand's coming out.
Yeah. And it's like you got to get the jump.
Yeah,
It's the most powerful in the world, and 2 weeks later somebody else has got it.
Yeah.
But no, they're so that's like,
that sounds wicked.
so we're doing that. Husqvarna's got some awesome stuff. Like it's going to be really, really cool, and Ethan's come along for the ride, so it's actually going to be good.
Who's Ethan?
Ethan's the one who filmed it last time.
Right.
So if you watch and you're like, why is there a massive jump in quality? Because I had nothing to do with it. That's why.
Also, your first year's Makers Month, they were mainly just over
the video call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was entirely different.
And we didn't charge anything.
No.
Because there was no cost.
Yeah.
And then this year it's like there's flights and there's thousands of dollars in equipment and there's like and we just threw out some real large numbers because we're like, we want to do it properly.
Yeah.
And and they were like, yeah, sounds good. And I was like, that is a lot more people saying yes.
That's cool.
It's what's amazing about it is that the brands want to engage with the Australian market and they don't just want to use the American.
I'm so glad about that because honestly, we felt like such an afterthought on so many things. And you keep talking about, this mower doesn't cut well enough and it needs a spacer put in or anything, or, the cut height's not low enough. And they go, well, you're 0.2% of the market. And you go, that's a great thing to say over and over and over, but it doesn't mean that I can use your tools to get the job done. And so it's nice to actually finally be seen and focused on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Some brands actually are starting to do a bit more R&D here. Which is great because, we can simulate the conditions of America. We can have high grass and cut high grass, or cut it high. And we can go lower and test the heck out of your motors and all that sort of stuff. Can I ask something on your Makers Month, though? What were the metrics like between the first year's one and then the follow-up?
Well, this is also one of the reasons why the short form went nuts. So we've had, it was last time I was checked, which was probably about 3 months ago, it was like 1.2 million views across the short form.
Heck yeah.
And there were certain videos that went really strong in that. There's one that got 400,000 views. There's one that got 300 and something. And then there was a few that cracked 100. So they were the heavy hitters, but it was really common for things to get 10, 15, 20 in the short form.
Is there like a running theme on the ones that went really high?
I think it was the stuff that was unexpected. Like the one that got the most was the Toro, like stuff that you and I are like not surprised about.
Yeah. Okay.
But because we're in the industry, but a lot of the general audience have never thought about something like that.
Yeah.
So the Toro 30-inch battery mower, the E-Time Master, how it folded up into a really small footprint, that just went really nuts. And I think it's like, so that one got 400,000.
I bet you every contractor was just going,
well,
yes.
I think that's, for those numbers, it has to be now getting to the homeowner market.
Surely.
And I think it was a bunch of homeowners. So electric, folds up, I'm running out of storage, and is large.
It ticks so many boxes.
And they're like, oh, that's cool. The horizontal shaft motor found its way to go-kart enthusiasts.
Oh, the Greenworks one?
Yeah, but that got so many views. So no, the Toro one got 300,000. This one got 400. They got so many views that Greenworks in America, which did not have it in stock yet, called Greenworks in Australia, and they were like, what happened? Why are we getting all these calls? And they're like, oh, we did a video. Yeah. So then all these brands are like, oh, we better do it next year. Because like if they sell one,
yeah.
But I said to Gary, I was like, that video, I think you owe me $100,000.
Yeah, wow.
Because if they're $1,000 each from a 400,000 view video, if you sell 100,
yeah.
And I did not charge $100,000.
Oh, next time, mate.
Somebody else will be cleaning this up, right? We could afford a real table.
My goodness. There is a flat soccer ball over there. There was a drill driver just on the ground. I moved it. Luke actually just walked over it a dozen times.
You noticed?
Yeah.
You know what? This table is covering a multitude of sins.
We'll have to move the camera later.
Yeah.
and show it off.
Yeah. No, the real reason is I'm making mess to make less mess. because I have been talking about how we've been running out of storage for a long time. And yeah, I am, because some of it is because it's getting to spring, and some of it is because it's like this contract, and like I said, with the getting a second collection mower.
Yeah.
And so
It must be weird having the school so far from home base as well.
yeah, it's like an hour away.
I don't know how that works logistically for you. Are you keeping a lot of equipment up there, or?
No, well, because it's not that common, and because you're there for the whole day.
Yeah, okay.
Like, if you think about it this way, if you do 15 jobs in a day and you're travelling 5 minutes between all of them,
It's probably a similar travel time by the end of it.
it's just
isn't
not in one hit.
it? Yeah.
The problem is getting there before 7.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, at this time of year it is.
Dude, have you been getting it so super cold here?
This here is a much better place than where you are,
Okay.
because we're so close to the ocean.
Yeah, right. I had negative 0.5 at 8 a.m. Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was 2 here,
Yeah, okay.
but yeah, it's we had frost,
Yeah,
a little bit of frost,
yeah.
but it's cold for here.
I was meant to be on the walker yesterday in the morning, and I just went, no, I'm not getting wind chill on top of negative degrees.
Yeah,
That's just insanity.
and nothing's growing anyway.
Yeah, I've got this papsalum stuff that's growing, but
Yeah, nice.
we use it in lieu of grass in some sections. It's a weird
Yeah.
symbiosis.
Have you thought about doing the ryegrass?
I have. The problem is that the established time is going to be a bit of a problem, because you've got, I remember you saying it was like 4 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And I've done it for a church before. I've put down some rye in a section because they had an entire season where the retic was turned off, and the person who normally turns it back on passed away. And so it was just left. And then I took it on at winter and went, well, what do you want me to do now? It's winter. And so I said, well, I can put down ryegrass. It's probably got just enough time. And so we let that germinate. And that was enough to make it green. Yay. And then it all died. But
Hot weather, yeah.
yeah, then it warmed up. But by that time, I'd had enough nutrients in the ground that the cooch started to peek its head out again. And it's recovering from it. But
Well, this is one of the funny things about, like say, Ben Sims over East. I was talking to him because he was talking about, like, when they do an oversow with rye, well, you got to spray it out.
yeah.
You don't have to spray it out here.
No, you leave it.
It'll just die.
2 weeks later,
It's too hot.
and then the seeds will come back later, and you don't have to resell it or anything.
But no, that's with Ben. It's like if they don't, like the cooch or whatever, it will come back in sections, but
Yeah,
it
okay.
won't ever crowd it out. Whereas for us, like the cooch or the cuckoo will start coming back.
Yep.
And then some hot weather, and it's like it just can't handle it.
It's a pretty seamless transition between the two.
Yeah, but we've never sprayed out the rye. We do the internal oversow at the school every year. What's funny is we had a Dickey sprinkler, and it's gear drive,
Oh, yeah.
and it wasn't one that was getting stuck and staying stuck. It was like getting stuck temporarily and then moving on again.
Oh, gosh. So you got one focused area.
So there is a line where the ryegrass was washed out,
Oh, gosh.
and you can go to the school right now, and there's a line of just death. Because nothing else can handle the traffic,
Yeah.
nothing else can handle, and the ryegrass is getting quite thin now.
Yeah.
It's struggling, but you're like, it's 100 times better than that line,
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
So, all right, we should talk about this.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know why I'm even here, because I've only been in the game for a few years, Luke asked me to test the Moquo stuff, and so he put me on the group of testers.
There was a lot of group of testers, but you were really quite thorough.
I liked to throw my head at it.
And this is,
You're looking down at something.
well, I don't know if you can see that. Luke is very sexy. Oh, that's quite nice of you writing that. Thank
He
you very
needs
much.
to shave a bit better and have a bit more
I'm not even arguing with
hygiene
that.
habits.
So,
So this was when, for starters, when I got into the Moquo testing, I was probably the part of the reason it was delayed for a while, because I found out how difficult some access and sign-ups and
which is what we
password resets.
wanted.
Exactly. I butted my head at it until either it got fixed or it worked.
Either you're going to find it, and we'll fix it for you, and then we'll release it to everyone, or 34 other people are going to find it, and then we're going to have to fix it on the go and handle all the complaints.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
yeah. So when
That's it.
people are like, how does it take so? Why does it take so long? It's like, because we're trying to make something that works.
Yeah.
And we don't want to rush it and get it out.
Think of it like this: you got your problems with getting Apple to work, and then you got your problems with getting Android to work. Not only that, there was problems with Hotmail email addresses,
Yeah.
problems with Gmail email addresses, problems with tester codes, and all that. In the end, that turned into I had to subscribe to even get it to work because the tester code wouldn't work.
Yep.
So
And then I joked that this was all a scam,
Yep,
just to get you pay me.
yeah,
What it was $6 or something.
I said to Luke, you're gonna have to pay me a Zinger box for that one. And true to his word, he bought me a Zinger box.
I bought him a Zinger box.
So no, that's all worked out and that's all good. But when I finally got it working, I went through, and this is where I find the power in the app, not just when you're going to quote.
Well, let me reframe this.
Oh.
Let me start this again because
Sorry,
we
we're
say
rushing.
Moquos everybody knows. I measured over 10,000 jobs for the last 5 years and made a formula that I claim predicts how long a mowing job will take.
Yep.
Then you put your mowing data into it and it will spit out what you should charge. So your personal business data, your targets, everything. So it's not anybody else's number.
Yep.
A few people have been caught out of that. I think it's like an industry standard. It's not. It's for your business. So I've claimed that, this will be accurate. But before we've put it out, we've gone to you and gone, and others, like, is it actually accurate? Like, it's fine for us, but is it different for you? How does it work? And in front of me, is this a list of...
So this is all my clients that I've gotten areas just off Google area calculators and everything, and then put them through with the amount of obstacles, large and small, any extra times, or whether I needed to double cut. Just so I had, because they're all the parameters that I saw in the app, and basically filled it out in some cross form, and then went through and just pumped them all in and worked out how long you thought I should take on them, how much I should charge as a result, and just it was really a check on my work, but also on yours. So I could see, are there any holes, glaringly obvious holes? But it was pretty cool. As a result of putting them all in, I've found about 5 clients where I've gone, right, as soon as business picks up in spring, you're going to get that message where it's, sorry, your price is now this. And the rest of it was great. There's somewhere I've even realised, hey, I'm doing a pretty wonderful job. Or there's even some where I've gone, hang on, Luke reckons I can do this in 19 minutes, and I'm doing it in 35 right now. That's one job. That was one job.
Really?
Yep. Where I'm going, how the heck have you worked out? And then it's caused me to break down in my head, how am I going about this job?
Oh, that's interesting.
And so the solution I've come up with in my head is that it's not just that I'm mowing a verge, a front yard, and then a backyard. I also have a gate to open. I have things to work around there. I don't really do retic testing all the time, but there's just extra little bits that I haven't factored in. And then I went, well, if I add the extra 7 minutes that I'm normally spending doing those extra things, it works out, okay. And that's pretty much bang on. So
Ash Smithers had something similar as well, where he was like, basically every job is spot on, but there's this one that was like, it was way faster than what he did on. And I was like, what's different about that job? I don't know, but one of the things that you've got to do with the app is you got to understand that the prediction element is just for the actual mowing.
Yes.
And so everything else, if there's anything that, like parking further away from the job, right? Like if you've got to walk 20 meters, more, right? Well, if you mow, edge, blow, mow, blow, but you're whippersnipping and edger, and you're probably walking to your ute at least 4 times. It might be 5 times, maybe 6. You've got to empty your catcher, right? That extra 20 meters is 40 meters because you're doing it there and back. If you're doing it 5 times, that's 200 meters of extra walking, which is not going to take you an hour, but those things add up. The gates, the locks and things, and that's where the extra minutes comes in.
And it also clicked. I'm always at that job at morning tea time. I'm like, why? Because I do like a self-audit sometimes where I'll go, okay, when do I start this job? Or when do I get here and when do I leave? Just so I can keep myself accountable. Like, am I getting slower, faster on my times? It was effectively Moquo before Moquo existed, but I was just timesing it by an hourly rate. And it was always the job at just on lunchtime and just on morning tea times are always a bit higher. And no, that was one of them where I've gone, okay, I'm always stopping to have a muesli bar and I'm opening a gate and I'm cleaning up some leaves as well. Just some extra little,
the
one
exactly.
percenters. And that was the reason why.
Well, what the app should be doing, because here's a few misconceptions that some people have, is talk about the hourly rate. You put in all your business settings, and the goal is not to have the hourly rate be the time on site. It's be over the course of the week.
Yes.
And that's what, and people, the reason why that is that's a much more accurate way to think about business, because you could be killing it on site, earning $200 an hour, but if you're driving all the time, it brings your rate right down.
Yep.
And this is a more it's a more holistic way to measure it. So people get a little bit confused by that. But the other thing is that it should be the mowing time should be an average.
Yep.
So I would guess that if you're hitting your targets right now, you probably need to slow the app down a little bit, because you're probably going to take a little bit longer in spring.
Yep.
And so if you're finding that it's a little bit fast, so you're a little bit fast right now, it's over predicting, say, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Probably a good spot to be with the current
Yeah, because when spring comes, it should be good. So it does take a little bit of tweaking to finesse it to you and your style, but yeah, it'd be awesome when, and I have mentioned this before, but the goal with this is to take that formula and then to take AI and then to basically have that as your basis and then have AI look at your actual times and then customize it to how you actually do your job. And then it's as good as it gets. It's not just like, oh, here's thousands of data points that we've used. It's like, oh, here's thousands of data points plus, how you actually do it.
Yep.
That's a long time away. Don't get too excited with that. But
it's working pretty well. I liked how the very first time I tried it out at the testing thing at Ashes, when you were just showing us effectively what you had at that time. And I put in this one job, 200 square meters of buffalo, simple, easy. But then they went and put in it was like a monkey bar
photos,
set.
Yeah.
I'll try and bring it up send you a photo so you can put up. But it's got to be the world's biggest residential monkey bar set I've ever seen. There was 19 poles or something sticking into the ground.
I think it was, yeah. I think it was, I remember 19.
And I remember banging my head at it trying to figure out how to use your app and going, well, is each one a large obstacle, a small obstacle? And this was part of the testing, was going through, can we make sure that we better explain what this is?
We didn't want to tell you how to use it.
No.
We wanted you to use it, and then when we were like, oh, everybody's using it wrong, that means we've explained it wrong.
Exactly.
So you keep going.
So that's kind of where I've come into it, is going, well, what does this mean? What does that mean? It all makes sense to you. But I loved that even when I put it in with the 19 obstacles and all of it was just single cut and the time expected to do it, I've banked on it 40 minutes to do it every time, and yours popped out at 43. And I said, well, it's not bad. You were close. You were within 3 minutes. And then you dropped your little, actually.
Yeah,
I add an extra couple of minutes on everything. To give you a bit of a break. I'm like, damn it, you trumped me.
No, we wanted, so we wanted, if like my perfect world would be every job I finish, and I finish with like about 2 minutes left. Really small job, maybe 1 minute. Really big one, maybe 3 minutes. Because then you can just stop and you can have a breather and you can look around. Did I miss anything?
Yeah.
Because I've done that before. I've literally done it, I don't know, many times back when I was out on the tools a lot. It's like you'd mow the job, finish everything, get in the car, start driving off, and you realise, there's a weed that the wheel of the mower's run over, pushed down the head, and it's popped back up again. And I stopped the car. I couldn't just drive. It would just annoy me the rest of the day.
Like driving off, and then you realise that where you're parked has got grass all under it because you didn't blow under the van correctly or something. I got caught on that one the other week. I've just gone, I have to do this bit of extra. Make it happen. I don't want to be that guy.
Oh, mate. I was picking up one of the employees, actually, the other week. And we're just going to both drive together to one of the sites and have a look at it. I'm driving to his house, and there's a guy who's mowing the lawn, right? And yeah, cool. Yeah, drive off. Get the employee, drive back. So we're driving back past this guy's house, and we're in the car together, and the guy's gone. He's done. All the clippings on the road. And I'm like I haven't seen it that bad for a while.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that is literally the only thing I notice.
Mm.
And it's not like it doesn't bother me that much in terms of like, okay, yeah, they're going to blow around the wind, fine. But from a business perspective, it's literally the only thing. Like, just telling the truth, I didn't know how good the lawn mowing job was. I didn't know if there was like if it was well cut or if it was. All I noticed is that there was grass clippings on the road. I'm like, it's such a bad.
It's a glaringly like it's a target spot. Like, hey, this is how I care about the work that I do.
Yeah.
My neighbour gets their lawn cut by a Jim's.
They don't love you?
Absolute no. Look, there's a long story behind that. He doesn't charge enough. He's an absolute gentleman of a guy, very friendly, but he does not believe in A, collecting his clippings in Perth, Western Australia.
Okay.
And B, it's a front yard that he'll happily get his zero-turn gravely on.
Okay.
And it's like 100 square metres. He's like, no, I can't be bothered. And so it's just side throwing it everywhere. And then he leaves. And the neighbours across the road just look at me looking at the lawn, shaking my head, and I just go, I can't abide by this. And I get out my blower and clean. Have you ever done that? Cleaned up someone else's mess? Just going, I can't leave this.
The guy across the road from us did not that bad.
Yep.
But I think he's just blown a bit of the loose stuff back onto the middle of the road, and I was tempted. But then I was like, no, it'll be gone. It's very windy here typically, so I'm usually fine. But there's these little things like that. One thing we teach like in here in our business is that for employees, the best client to get is not the millionaire client with the massive budget and everything like that. The best client to get is actually the next door neighbor of the client you already have.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize the power of that time difference.
Yeah.
Because you're cutting out all that travel time.
It's like if you bring it back to the Moquo, folks. If you go into the travel time bit and drop that part down to 0, and then look how much extra time you can now make on, like how much more you can make just by cutting out that 5 minutes between jobs or anything. If it's just small front yards, it's a big thing. And a lot of people have built a business model specifically around as minimal travel time as possible. And it doesn't matter, almost doesn't matter what you're charging. It's just get as many as you can on that stream.
So, talking money-wise, so when I first told you that we're thinking it would be like about $25 a month, you were like, oh, I don't know if I'd want to pay that.
Yes, I did say
and
that.
I was like, that's actually one of the reasons why we were like, I was happy to have something like that, because I don't want everybody to be like, I'm already a fan from the outset of the idea.
Yep.
And I'm just looking for things to reaffirm that starting position I had.
Sorry, I'm not one of those, I'm a fangirl, and I'm just going to be like, yes, let's do it, Luke. Charge 50.
Yeah.
No. And that's how I've gotten this name now. But to be clear, I'm a frugal guy. I try and keep minimize expenses as much. Do my own bookkeeping in house, do my own invoicing in house, not have zero software or anything. And that's mainly because I come from that background of like I don't have to do big invoices for this pub or anything. I only have 2 days a week that I need to do invoicing for or send any messages for. So I don't have to spend the money to automate it yet. But that yet is a big thing. And it's the same thing with Moquo. Like, I love the premise, I love the idea, and but at that stage, I wasn't interested in the idea of paying money for it. It was wicked to get validation that where I was at was pretty much on the money, on that side of a thing. But I will admit, now having used it, I would pay for it.
Well, he has to say it here. There's a chainsaw over.
I would pay for it. There is a chainsaw there, though. But so I think it's 100% got its merits, and I think it's going to become an invaluable thing. But I think for anyone that's on the fence, that first month is massive.
Oh, you won't make more money than that, or a couple of big quotes that you might get.
Yeah. Like because I don't take on much work now because my books are filled up and it's winter time. So I'm doing maybe 2 quotes a week tops. But going back through your back catalogue of work and simply doing something that I've done like this, highlighting the anomalies and then assessing, should I be charging them more? Should I be faster? Should I be, or like this is taking less time, or what have you. And then just going, well, okay, there's 4 or 5 people that I either need to drop and take on something better or raise the prices on. That alone, and going through 32 is going to be so much better than the 4 that you might do in the next couple of weeks, because it's just that sheer volume and that you can go through in that time.
The point is, like, for me, once you've done that, right, you've paid for the app already.
100%.
Because what people don't realize is that if you get one job, you just win one job that's about $15 a cut more, right? And you do that 20 times a year, the app is free. Because the extra $15 that you were not going to get unless you use Moquo, you're getting now. Now, I want to say as well, some people are saying, well, yeah, you got more than that, but what if they said no, right? Because there are people like, well, are you going to charge so much that you're going to lose the job?
Oh.
The point that I'm getting at is, if you set your targets and you put your financial targets in, it's like, this year I want to earn $200,000. That's my target. Well, you just put your reverse engineer hourly rate. This is how many hours are going to work, blah, blah. Let's say your hourly rate for that is now 150. If you don't win that job at that rate, you will not hit your target.
Yep.
So that's the thing about having goals. So if you are somebody who's just desperate to get work, right, and you just want the job, well, I actually probably wouldn't recommend getting Moquo.
No.
But if you want to build a business that's actually hitting your targets and making good profit, then this will, unless you're putting the data in wrong or things outside of your control happen, right, you should be hitting those targets when you quote this way.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know I started in that mindset when you start quoting, like, oh, what if I lose the job?
Yeah.
Right? But now it's like, I don't want to win a job that isn't great.
That is a powerful shift in your mental state when you can start going, no, I don't want 80-90% of everything that I quote for. I don't want to be getting that $20 just clean up my 10 square meter, but it's 10 minutes away or something. You've got to start assessing that your time is finite, that you can dedicate towards your work. And so winning every quote, you'll fill up, yes, in a couple of months, but then you've got the trash that you've got to work through and weed out. And I have a testimonial that I haven't told you yet.
Oh.
I dropped a client a while back because it was a $50 per cut, a little front and back, a minute from my house. So travel time wasn't even a factor on that. But it was just, it wasn't turning into something being worthwhile, and I just got my pub thing, so I thought, well, the lower chaff can be weeded out.
The chaff, yeah.
The chaff.
The plebs of society can leave my books, thank you.
So they actually came back, or they posted on a local community page, like, oh, I'm looking for a mowing one. So their new contractor they got didn't work out. And I actually said, oh, I'd be interested in taking it on again. But they posted as an anonymous person, so I didn't know it was them until they messaged me and said, hey, it's actually us, our current one that we got after you, nowhere near as good.
Right.
I was like, okay, I can probably take you on again. I am starting to try and take on some more work, but I've got this new app, or this new thing I can put in your details and work out a quote. I wasn't prepared to say, oh yeah, we'll just take it back at the same price. And so it was originally 50, I punched it into Moquo, and it went up to 80.
Oh, wow, nice.
I was like, and here's the thing, I also dropped them knowing that if I pushed any price rises with them, they would have pushed back.
Yeah.
They were just that kind of personality. And so I got the added benefit of, they knew that this slash and dash guy was unreliable and unprofessional. So I had that working for me, and then said, look, this is what the app's telling me I need to do to maintain my profitable business, or maintain my business. And yeah, said 80.
Yeah.
Didn't bat an eyelid on it. And so I was like, okay.
So did you good cop, bad cop it? Like, I would love to give you 50, but the app...
I didn't even say that. I just said, I'm going to work out a quote for you. Because I'm not, it's that mindset shift. It's like, I'm not going back there for $50 anymore.
Because we tell our employees to good cop, bad cop it.
Oh, there you go.
Because you go use the app and they go quote, and someone's like, oh, that's quite expensive. It's like, yeah, well, look, I'm just the guy, and the guy, the boss sets all the numbers. This is what we need to charge. And I'd love to do it for free, but I can't, and they go, oh, yeah, okay.
I actually scrolled down enough of Moquo to cut off the hourly rate at the top and was going to take a screenshot.
That's actually something that I want to, That's one of the little features I want to put in to hide.
I had that ready in case I wanted to share it, but then there was just no pushback or anything. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, there you go. Turns out you did have the budget the whole time.
Well, that would definitely be on the Teams feature when it comes. So when there's a Teams feature, your employees won't be able to see any of your business settings or anything like that.
Yep.
They just put in the stuff. You know, so you've set all the settings, you give it to them, they go out, they put on the stuff.
Teams being employees, not a Microsoft software.
No, yeah, like we're going to have a tier. I mean, I've called it Teams, but it's going to be a tier for like when you have employees out in the field.
Yep.
And yeah, like there's so many things we want to do. People, if you like these ideas, one of the things that I understand it, and I want you guys to completely flip your mind, even though it's illogical. Right, is that people go, I'm going to wait till these features come out that actually suit me, because there's a couple that I like now, but I really want the spraying, or I really want whatever, the ride-on mowing, whatever. And it's like, I would do that too. I need you to sign up, because the quicker you sign up, the more resources we have to make them come out faster.
To even bring them out. So, I mean, if you like what you're doing at the moment, then go for it now. When you bring out new features, is each bit going to be, and you might not even figure this out, is it going to be factored in as like if you want the spraying section, that's going to be X per month, or if you want just the quoting section, is it going to be 25?
I think what we're going to do, this may change, because there's certain people who would just want spraying, which is so like councils, golf courses, homeowners, things like that. So we probably will break spraying off as a standalone eventually.
Yep.
But that, again, that takes resources. All this tier stuff.
Yep.
It's not, you still have to code that in. So you're better off, at the moment, we're better off coding in the extra quoting services. But we probably will have the spraying as a standalone thing that people can just get if they don't want the quoting.
Yeah.
But at this stage, I think we'll just include spraying with the quoting.
Okay.
And so it's always there. And for the $25 a month, when you go on the app now, you see the coming soons.
Yes.
They will all be included under $25 a month.
Oh, okay.
So there's not going to be any price rises for that. We're debating what to do with the rest of it. There would definitely be a major price for Teams, but it will be much cheaper than buying it individually. So I'm not going to throw out any numbers because I don't actually know.
No.
You got to do the math on it. It's all like nobody knows what to charge, because if 1 million people downloaded it, you could charge way less. If 10 people download it, we should be charging $6,000 a month or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's a pretty niche thing. So you got to try and make it to the point where you can actually cover programmers, coders, all the wonderful people that you've had on your previous videos doing it all.
Yeah. And they're super excited, which is like, if you guys have seen that, like, we're really blessed that we have a team that's like, I don't know, the reason why I got them on was, one, to sort of talk about it and inform people, but secondly was, instead of me just telling everybody, to see like, oh, this is actually a capable team of people who actually are excited by it and have done really cool stuff in the past. And
Amelin's been great to work with on just, throwing ideas at it, and that's kind of what I've been just doing, like, hey, let's add some more detail to this obstacles or something like that, or why can't I remember my password right now? Amelin, if you're listening, sorry, you're doing a great job. I'm sure it's going to get easier now that I can get in.
Oh dear, that was
poor girl.
That's
I feel like she must have been having like a heart attack.
I'm glad that I don't do that job. Yeah.
So I'm interested in how you've got the different setups of mowers, and if that's something that's easily added later on, because I noticed that you haven't got your Sanley 16-inch in there.
Yeah, not yet.
And your Bunnings mowers for when they're just starting out. But honestly, like the cylinder mowers, you've got different sizes on that. But then you start talking into the big girls, your walkers, your zero turns. Is that something that you're looking to try and get into?
Yeah, so the ride-on exists in non-app form.
Okay.
Right? Like, so it's literally what I use to quote the private schools, right? It's a completely different way of working. So it takes a lot more time.
There's a few more steps, and there's a lot more work.
Yeah, so for example, like if you're doing a school, you want to do line trimming, right? But if you're doing someone's acreage block with exactly the same machinery, well, if you glypho the edges, because they don't care, well, now I don't have to do line trimming. So is line trimming included or not? Exactly how much am I blowing down?
Yep.
Because I'm not going to assume, because you can make a lot of assumptions on average data in residential stuff, because the difference between a little bit here and a little bit there comes out in the wash.
Whereas the variance in the bigger stuff is
all of a sudden,
larger.
a 12-hour job, 10% more, 1.2 more hours. And that's the problem, whereas a 10-minute job, 10% more, 1 minute.
I had some fun with some of the acreages I do for the pub. I put them into
dear.
Moquo as a push mower. And so we're talking, let me find some of the biggest ones. Oh, if I actually do the whole pub, I think I worked out here. Oh, heavens above. No, I didn't put in the pub because it was going to be too much. But one of the acreages from the owners, I said, oh, here you go. If you want me to push mow it, it'll probably need double cutting. And it's going to cost you, at my rate, $1,092 to push mow it.
Nice.
And it's going to take me 9 hours. Meanwhile, I'll get on the walker and I'll do it in 4.5 hours or something like that.
And that's what, And that just...
Imagine emptying the catcher on that just like 48 times trying to do it all.
One thing that's going to happen, I've reached out to some of these brands. I actually do not have enough space here, so that's a problem. I'm gonna have to sort something out.
Oh, you're gonna have to drop equipment off at my place.
An hour away.
Yeah.
No, I want to. If we get enough users, like I can really dedicate a lot of time to testing this, right? And maybe we can even hire someone whose job is a tester, and we could have. In the same way that you click on, say, with the sprays, you have 374 sprays.
Yeah.
Like,
start getting.
Why couldn't we have 47 mowers? But then what you do in the settings is instead of you selecting 47, or having to shuffle 3 of them each time, in your business settings, you're like, here are the 2 mowers I actually own.
Oh, yeah.
But you take into account, I actually want to do. Honda HRU 216 at 3,300 revs. Honda HRU 216 because I know everyone does that, right?
Yeah.
And
that's a big difference.
Yeah, which gear are you picking? And literally, again, it's just so much work to get all that data. But that would be the goal. Now with the ride-on stuff, that will be how it works from day one.
Yeah. Okay.
So we will go. So that's why it's going to take out some time, because you can't just go, generic 48-inch, because the top speed's going to be different.
It's so different, yep.
And then there's going to be ways to adjust how you mow in the settings to accommodate for hills, terrain, length of grass.
You've also got side discharge, mulching, collection. Like they're all going to be...
So it'd be things like, say, so the Hustler that's there, I think it's got 16k an hour. I'm making that up. I don't know how quick that is actually now.
Jeez, that's quick.
Yeah, it's not that quick. I said that, and then I was like, no, I'm going to mix it up with something else. But let's say it's 10 kilometers an hour, right? If I am mowing a job, is this a full flat out job, or am I 80% through it? Am I 70%? It's subjective, but it's a much more accurate way of predicting it than going, full out, and go, okay, no, this is a hilly section. And you might go, well, this much of this section is really quite slow. This much is actually much better. And you work it out that way. Yeah. And it would probably take, instead of it literally walk up being in 30 seconds, you can do a quote. Yep. It'll probably be a 3-minute, 4-minute process with the ride-on. But then it will be spot on. Yeah. And you're not getting people who are quoting like a contract for 20 cuts a year over 3 years, and then they underprice it by $200 and they're locked in or something. So that's, but yeah, that would take a while. So yeah, people, you can't just take the formula that we've used and make assumptions about ride-ons and be like, that'll work.
Yeah. I remember reading on LMCA, it was like, how long should I charge, or how much should I charge for this ride-on job or whatever? I haven't really done them before, and people say, well, as long as it would take for doing the push mower, and then you just get to do it faster. Not sure how accurate that would be, but if I charge this guy $1,000 for that.
Like, we make really good money at these schools, right? But like you just said, if I was to push mow it, 4 hectares.
Yeah. Comically unfeasible numbers.
Yeah. And so like you are shoehorning yourself into a certain price bracket that is not actually relevant. Yep. And my dream is, what's the most annoying post on LMCA? Other than Ash
how
Smithers. No, I'm joking. Just throwing him under the bus.
Savagery. How much for this hedge is probably the common one, but
Yeah, well, like, how much do I charge for this job?
yeah.
Right, and the point I would love in, say, 2 years' time when we're like over the crest of the majority of the development we want, where it's like people just go, how much should I Moquo? I can't even finish the sentence before some new guy's gone.
Yeah.
Just download this app. Right, it'll sort that problem out for you.
Mate, you can't even see on the video. You can only see the O on the Moquo. We should have shifted it a bit better.
Well, I just want to be honest about the mess.
Yeah.
There's mess everywhere, though. We could have pointed it in any
but now I
direction.
can't be like, what? How much did I charge? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, well. But look, it's there's so much stuff that's cool. Another thing I want to do is have... So you know how you can click, like, share? People having races out in the industrial area.
This is good to stay focused on.
You can click share at the bottom.
Yes.
And it'll copy and paste. Yeah.
Yes.
There's so much we want to do with that. Because we got one service at the moment, but what we want to do is have a system where it's like, let's say you're shopping on Amazon, it's like add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. We're going to do that with essentially your quotes. So you can add it to
So you're combining. So you say, this is how much mowing is, and then if I do the spraying as well.
Yeah.
Applications. Yep.
So let's say you want to do packages like we do.
Yep.
Right, and you have a job where you've got fertilization, aeration, blah, 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 and you just add it in, and then you can go, how many times are you doing it? 21 for this, 3 for that, 4 for that, bam, 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 put it all in. Then you go, send.
How good.
Yeah. Or like you've got a quote where someone's like, hey, I want you to reduce the hedge, I want you to mow the lawn, I want you to pull out the weeds. You're doing it all in the app. While you're there, pull out the weeds.
Yep.
Like general gardening's coming next, and that's the simplest one where you're literally just like, here's my hourly rate with my settings so that we're countering in your travel time and everything. And what that means is shorter jobs, a lot higher hourly rate, longer jobs, a lot less hourly rate to compensate for your travel time. You get the idea. But you will put in, here's my green waste for certain sizes. So a bin of green waste, I'm going to charge this.
Oh, okay.
Like a 240 litre bin. A full trailer is this, 3 trailers is this, and products. So you can go click in and go, okay, for the weeding, I'm going to title this weeding, and I'm going to go, an hour of work is 4 bins. That's a hell of a lot of weeds, but whatever. There's 4 bins of waste, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm going to put down some sea salt at the end. You know, I'm making it up as I go. You get the idea. Bam, itemize it. It's in there. Everything's done. And then there's a second gardening job. So you're back to the gardening page, which is hedging. Quote it that way. Bam.
Yeah.
And it's in there. Just make it super quick.
That's cool.
And then integrations with things like Sortscape or other softwares where instead of you just copying it, pasting it in, if you can integrate it one day and like it's in the quote, as
It's like a written quote or something sent through.
Yeah, it integrates with their quote format.
Yep.
And then you just go onto Sortscape and it exists there.
That's cool.
Click send in your email system. Yeah, because that's what we want for our business.
You could get that into the point of invoicing as well. If you're into that sort of thing of itemizing invoices of this is what I've done the hedging, I've done the gardening, I've done the mowing, then you can just have it into that sort of thing and then it gets sent out.
There's so much stuff, and again, it just takes time to develop. Yeah.
On the gardening, can you make it so that weeding, are you going to have like, there's 10 square meters of weeds? How much is that going to be? That's not even possible, right?
No, I don't think it is. I think there is stuff where you just need to go with hourly. So that's what the next one will be.
Yes.
Which is just hourly.
Yep.
But even with hedging, like I have done measurements and you just cannot. There's
It's
no
so
consistent way. Unless you have, because it's about your technique and your experience and your
Exactly.
eye. When you have a machine, especially a self-propelled machine, you have data points that are predictable across everybody.
Yes.
And then you can do that, but like if you've got a $50 hedge trimmer and someone else has got a $500 hedge trimmer, and you have the same technique.
Yep.
The other guy's going to be quicker. If you have a better technique and the better machine, now you're even quicker.
Yeah, it's much more consistent metrics on lawns.
Yeah, but no, like weed spraying on lawns, right? Well, it's that's. I won't get into the details of that, but there are ways. Again, it'll be that one's going to be really customizable to each individual person.
Yeah, you got like different boom setups and.
Yeah, we're going to require
refills.
you to get your speed, which is really quite easy.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Okay.
you get your phone out and you're going to measure. I'd love to have this in-app. It's not going to be in-app to start with, but one day you get a different app. You measure. You walk at the speed you're spraying at.
Yep.
And it's like I walk when I spray at 5.4 kilometers an hour, and now we're using your data in your quote. You know, so it's like it's not Luke's walking speed and customizing all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Make it super accurate. So, mate, you know what? That's an hour and 20 minutes.
What?
I know.
Oh, goodness.
What is the time actually? Because you got to go home at a certain point.
Not for a fair stint. Can probably go get some more Zinger boxes. 3:20. Okay, maybe I do need to go. Far out.
Time went. Yeah.
Right. Oh, never even got that coffee either.
We better get on the way home. Well, thank you for being tight ass Leon.
Not anymore though. As I said, I would buy it now.
Frugal Leon.
Frugal. Thank you. Let's what's the word? Rebrand. Deflect and rebrand. Nip this in the bud before it takes off. I've got a feeling that on all the chat groups with the other contractors, I'm already going to be renamed to Tight Ass Leon after this.
Yep.
So I look forward to that. Thanks.
I think my name was it Ash that Anthony gave me? Oh, I'm looking it up now. I think I'm Lawn Jesus.
Oh, they have some fun there.
They do.
I think we got one called Pissy Pants because he got some of that, you know, that plant that like it's poisonous to yourself. He got some on his junk the other day. So now he's Pissy Pants.
Wait a second. How does that happen?
I'm going to let him tell that story another time. That's
His wife is not satisfying him at home, I think.
No. Actually, I better not name him. But I'm sure he'll come on the podcast at some stage. Absolute legend of a fella. But yeah, there's some stupid names in those groups.
Yeah, there is.
They're pretty great.
That's good. So, mate.
Anyway.
Well, thanks for coming on.
No, thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
people support the app. And, yeah.
Try it for 1 month. Trust me, at least a month to put in all your clients. I think that'll instantly tell you whether it's for you or not.
Do you know, I do have one more story.
Oh.
I got a message this week that is...
Congrats, Luke.
Thank you very much. This is awesome. I might read it out because people won't believe that this is real. Let me get it for a second. I don't have his approval to say this, so I'm going to be vague. Hey, mate, just wanted to say, I ran your app over all 500 of my clients today and extremely impressed. And then he spotted where some pricing things were off. He's worked on some stuff. And I said, that's awesome. Had a chat with him. And I said, how much extra money would you make if you won all these requotes? And he said, not sure. The total, as I haven't tallied, is definitely 50,000 plus a year.
Jeez.
And he did that in one afternoon.
500. I thought I did well with this. I did about 50. And I was like, yeah, I'm the biggest Moquo tester. Not even close.
I guess 500 people, if you get one, I don't know, $2 more, it's $1,000 per cut. 20 cuts a year.
The cumulative effect
Yeah.
on this. And even the tool just taking away the need for you to go through in your head and second guess yourself and go, oh, I don't know, I really want this one, or oh, I don't know if it's really worth that. If you have the numbers in front of you, you can at least say, this is what it'll need to be.
Mm-hmm. All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Everybody, we'll see you in the next podcast.
Toodaloo.